Hi, I'm Jack Draper. Shout out to QualityShot Tennis.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. It's our final WTA Roland Garros Power Rankings video. We're going to get into it. Before we do though, remember to that like button, do subscribe, and do also leave a rating review if you're listening on a podcast platform. Thank you as well to our members. It's great to have you guys on board and contributing. Your support is really greatly appreciated and it helps a bunch. Okay, let's get into it. So, this is our power rankings from before Rome. So, this isn't taking into account Rome. We're going to now look at what's happened at Rome, update it, and then give you guys our final power rankings going into Roland Garros. Bear in mind, this does not mean these are the people that I think are going to be the favorites going into it or who are going to win it. So, for example, number one doesn't necessarily mean I think they're going to win Roland Garros. I just think they're the most informed player going into it. So, as usual, what we're going to do is we're going to base it on most recent results, mainly focused on the clay court swing. Then, of course, we're going to look at their previous results at Roland Garros in the past, so in prior years. That is a secondary factor, though. And a tertiary factor is looking at their form so far this year in tournaments prior to the clay court swing, i.e. your Australian Open, hardcore tournaments, etc. Okay, let's get into it then. So, number one, we had Sabalenka at the start of the week or start of Rome. She lost in the first round to Swiatek. Now, that is not a great loss, to say the least. I think she should have won that. She'll be disappointed. But it did give her some chance to rest and recuperate. So longer term, it might come and potentially be a blessing in disguise. But based on this, on the power rankings in terms of form, I think it means she has to drop below Swiatek. I think Swiatek made, of course, the quarterfinals playing Rybakina and having to retire due to injury. And I think Sabalenka can still sit in the top two, but they'll switch positions, in my opinion. She'll be at number two. Number three is interesting, and I actually think we have a big mover here, and it's got to be Elena Rybakina. She won Rome, which to me was a massive, massive surprise. A very slow clay court tournament, which plays so similarly to Roland Garros. Yes, she beat Swiatek and Kalinina in the final due to also retirements as well. But I tell you what, I think she would have won against both players anyways. And she looked good on a very slow surface. And I was surprised, to say the least. But it was a pleasant surprise. And I think going into this, she's going to be one of the favorites, and rightly so. And she should be. And at number three, I think that's pretty, in my opinion, that's a pretty realistic place. And I think she probably is a third favorite. And despite me saying I don't think these are the players that are going to necessarily go on to win it, and Swiatek is the favorite, I think she is going to be the favorite going into it. But these two won't be too far behind. And it just so happens coincidentally that my form guide for Roland Garros lines up in terms of the top three anyway with my favorites. And the reason why is because these three have dominated the whole year. Not just Roland Garros, not just the clay court swing, but the whole year as a whole. Like they really have. They've dominated it big time, and that's a testament to how consistent they've been. Of course, Swiatek has won Roland Garros twice. Sabalenka, Rybakina haven't won it. I haven't made finals of the Grand Slam either, but they're playing some very, very good tennis. Now the rest. I say the rest because it's going to be interesting to see who we fill in terms of players. Just because the women, apart from those three, has been very up and down. Ostapenko made the semi-finals of Rome. She had a really, really good run. She beat Badosa. She beat, some really good players on her route there as well. Kasatkina, I think that was a really good win as well. Ostapenko beat Krejcikova. I mean, I think she's got to be at four. Just because if you think of the players that she's beaten, she beat Krejcikova, 2021 Roland Garros champion. In fact, let's look at her first round match. Right, so she played Castella, who's been in great form this year, beat her in 3 sets in the first round, then beat Krejcikova in straight sets, Roland Garros 2021 champion, bageled her in the second set, then beat Kasatkina in 3 sets, bageled her in the third set, beat Badosa in straight sets as well, who has been top 10, has been number 2 in the world, not that long ago, and then lost to Rybakina in straight sets. I mean, That's a ridiculous run. I think it deserves someone to be there at 4, and I think it should be Ostapenko. I think she definitely deserves it. So let's go for 5. 5 is difficult. 5 down, I think, is going to be difficult. And I'm not saying Ostapenko is with this group. She's definitely not, but she's below them, and rightly so, just because she hasn't had the consistency throughout the year, throughout the clay court swing, but she had a very good Italian Open. I think Badosa should probably be at 5, just because she lost Ostapenko, who went on to make the semi-finals, but she beat Mukova, which was a good win, Kostyuk and Jabeur, who I thought was a very good win, and Friedsam. The Jabeur win, to me, is a real standout. I think she has been playing some really good tennis, Badosa, in the last few months. That's a real positive for me, her getting through that. For Ons Jabeur, it's been an interesting one. Their semi-finals of Stuttgart and then didn't play any tournaments until Rome. It's really hard to know where she's at. Charleston, she won, of course. And Stuttgart, she won the semi-finals, had to retire due to injury. She's going to be my top 10. I'm going to leave her at 10, though. The reason why I leave her at 10 is because we haven't seen enough of her. We didn't see her in Madrid, and that's a massive shame because she, of course, won Madrid. She went in the final of Rome. Last year, she had a really bad draw. Drawing Badosa just gave her no chance to actually get back into match fitness and match form. So that was a shame, of course. But at 6, I think we've got to put Kudermetova. I think Kudermetova has been really good in this clay court swing, and almost surprisingly so, because I wasn't expecting it to be as good as she's been, in all honesty. And it's a pleasant surprise. She has a very big game. Yes, she doesn't play against Swiatek. Most people don't. She lost to Kalinina in 3 sets in the semi-finals of Rome. She would have been disappointed because it was a great opportunity to make her first Masters 1000 final. Will make her first clay court Masters 1000 final. She lost to Swiatek, though, in Madrid in the semi-finals. Of beat Pegula, Kasatkina, Potapova, Parizas Diaz on the way there. I mean, quality. So I think she deserves to be at number 6. Number 7, I've got Krejcikova. I think she can probably stay there. And then Kasatkina, who's been okay. She's not been great, in all honesty. Round of 16 Rome. Madrid round of 16 as well, though. Kudermetova beat her. Stuttgart first round. Charleston semi-final. So that's fine. I mean, 8 is fine. 8 is fine. 9, I don't think Benjic. I mean, she made the final of Charleston, but since then she's been injured, if I'm not mistaken, which to me, and I don't know if she's even going to play actually the French Open, because she definitely be injured going into it. So she won't be in my top 10, that's for sure. She just hasn't had the matches to really make an informed decision about how she's going to look. Honestly, Hannah Mayer's one to look at as well. In the quarterfinals of Rome, she made the first round to Madrid. Quarterfinals there of Stuttgart. I think she should be in there, Hannah Mayer. I think she should probably be there at 9. I think, which is fair. Now, Jessica Pegula isn't in here. You might be thinking, why isn't she? So let's take a quick look at her results in the clay court swing and see whether she deserves it, because normally she would be in most of my power rankings. She's so consistent. So lost in the first round, of course, of Rome to Townsend in 3 sets. Madrid made the quarterfinals. Okay, that's pretty solid. Charleston semi-final. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to put Pegula at number 9. Haddad Mayer at number 10. Now, I mean, Jabeur won Charleston, though. I'm going to put Jabeur just outside. I really like Jabeur. I think she's a fantastic player. I genuinely do. But she's just not being good enough. I'm going to take Fernandez and Andrescu out of the just outside as well. The Alicia Parks is a little bit ambitious as well, because Janis Wen has had some decent results, so we'll stick with her on the just outside. So that's my 10. It might be a little bit controversial. Let me know your thoughts. I mean, Kalinina, I haven't included her either. Should we include her before actually I wrap up? Because that's a pretty big call for me not to include her. She's had a very good last couple of weeks. So let's see. She made, of course, the final of Rome beat Kudermetova, Haddad Mayer, Madison Keys, Sophia Kenin. Madrid lost in the first round. Charleston lost. No, I mean, I don't want to say it's a fluke, but yeah, doesn't really doesn't fill me with confidence her results on the clay court swing, so she'll be in the just outside. So my WTA power rankings, my final WTA power rankings going into Roland Garros: number 1 Swiatek, number 2 Sabalenka, number 3 Rybakina, number 4 Stepenko, number 5 Badosa, number 6 Kudermetova, number 7 Krejcikova, number 8 Kasatkina, number 9 Pegula, and number 10 Haddad Mayer. Just outside, just missed the cut. Ons Jabeur, Zheng Jinwen, and Kalinina. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below who you think should be in the top 10 Roland Garros power rankings for the WTA, and what's your power rankings as well. Always interested to hear your guys' thoughts. Of course, no Coco Gauff either. She was a finalist last year, but she hasn't been in good form. So let me know your thoughts on who you picked in yours, and we'll speak very, very soon. Thank you very much, guys. Stay safe.